Hello everyone, this is Swati. Welcome to Pabbly. In this video, we are going to see how to create ATG receipts once payment is received through Instamojo Smart Page, and then you have to share it on some social media app, let's say WhatsApp or Facebook, etc. How would you do this? So first of all, you should know that ATG receipts are receipts that you get once you have made some donation, and you even get some tax rebate against them. And then what is Instamojo? So Instamojo is a payment gateway. Now, and we know what are Google Docs and WhatsApp. So now what is it that we need? Let's say that you are a business person. You want that every time there is a donation made on Instamojo, so the payment is made through Instamojo, automatically this document first should be created. Okay, this document is already there, but it should be created and then should be shared on the WhatsApp number of the person who has made the donation. Now this process, if you will do it manually, it is definitely kill a lot of time. At the same time, it is going to be troublesome. What if I tell you that these three applications can get integrated, which means this entire process can get automated? How would you do that? For this, you actually have to take this software. So this software is the solution for everything. This is a Pabbly Connect software, which is an integration automation thing where you do not need any coding skills. All you need is to follow few steps, which I'm going to take you to my screen and explain you, and trust me, then you would be able to do this integration within a few minutes. So now let me take you to my screen. So let us now begin the process. First we have to type the URL www.pabbly.com/connect here, and as we do that, it is going to take us to the landing page of Pabbly Connect software. Once we are here, then we can see two options. One is sign in and another one is sign up for free. Here, if you are an existing user, then you have to just sign in, and if you are a new user, then you can sign up for free. We provide 100 free tasks every month in the free account of Pabbly Connect. So now I'm going to click on sign in. Why? Because I'm an existing user here. And now it has taken me to the all apps, where I'm going to click on access now. Why? Because we are doing this integration using Pabbly Connect software. So click on access now. And now again it has taken me to the dashboard, where on the right hand side you can see create workflow. So I'm going to click on this tab, and now this dialog box appears, which is asking me to name my workflow. So let me name it as Create ATG Receipts through Instamojo Smart Pages. Now let's click on Create. Now as we do this, this particular window appears, which has two very important events. One is this trigger, another one is this action. Basically, triggers and actions are those two concepts, those two principles on which this entire automation works. Trigger means when this happens, an action says do this, which means action is the response to the trigger. Now the first application that I'm supposed to search here is Instamojo. Why? Because Instamojo is my application and I want that these receipts should be created through Instamojo Smart Pages. And what would be my trigger event here? New sale. So now we have to add this webhook URL to our Instamojo payment link or payment page, for which we are willing to generate ATG certificates. So now I'm going to take you to my Instamojo page. So this is the home page of Instamojo, where I have all these pages. Can you see? Smart pages, payments, payouts, etc. So I have already created a smart page, and the name of the page is donation. Now here I'm going to click on these three dots and I'm going to edit the page to show you what I've done. This entire page can be customized and you can create your own pages as well. Now here is the page header. So I have given the name donation. Now I've selected an image here to enhance the look of it. Then you can even select the page theme, appearance, custom theme, pricing, etc. Now for the pricing thing, I have got three options. So the first purpose, I have written blood donation, and the amount is 9. Second is organ donation, amount is 10, and the third is money donation, amount is 9. So basically this is just a test. You know, I'm just running a test to make you understand how you actually have to do this integration. That's why the amount is this. You can just put in the real-time amount. And now as we come down here, so again you can have, profile picture, logo of your company, and etc. So as we come down, these are the page settings. At last we have add webhook. This is important for us to create the integration. Now I'm going to turn this on. So here you can see enter the webhook URL. So I'm going to go back to my Pabbly Connect page and copy this URL from here, go back here and paste it. So done. Then we have the URL settings. So, you can just go through this and you can customize the page as per your demand. Now I'm going to click on save and update. So now I'm going to go back to my Pabbly Connect, and here I'm going to click on recapture webhook response. And now I'm going to go back to my Instamojo page, and here let's go to view page, the page that we have just created. And now here we have to choose an option below to pay. So let's say that I have opted for money donation, and let's click on pay now. So we have to fill in our customer information here, and once done, so we have filled in all the information, and let's click on pay now. So we have basically received here the QR code, and let me just quickly make the payment. So now you can see that the payment has been successful, and we have received the thank you message as well. Going back to Pabbly Connect, we are waiting for the webhook response. So yes, it has captured the response. The API response is here. This is the payment ID. Payment status is success. Amount is 9 in INR, and it is telling us the created time in this particular format. So first we'll have to change the format also. So here we have the buyer's name, email address, phone number, and all the details are right here. So now the next step that we have to choose is date time format. Why? Because we have received the date in a different format, and as we will move ahead, we'll have to change the format. Here I'm going to format only the date. Connect. And now I have to map the data. Map the data means the data that we have already received in the previous step. So we are going to gather that data here. So I'm going to click on Instamojo and the date. Once done, so this is a format it is in currently the same format which is written here. And now to format for this, I am going to click on date, month, year. So this is the format that I need, and then we'll click on save and send test request. Once done, here see, you can see that we have received our data in the desired format. So now after this, we want to generate the ATG donor certificate. For that, I have already created an ATG donor certificate template inside my Google Docs. So let me just show you that. So this is the ATG certificate. Now here you can see, like, the first thing is logo of the company, then the company details, financial cycle is written, then we have a certificate number, and you can see this particular part is in curly braces, double curly braces. Why? Because this is a variable. The certificate number would change for every user. That is why this is in curly braces. So whenever, this is the format, okay? So whenever you have to write something which will be continuously changing for every particular user, so that's why it has to be written on, like, inside curly braces, double curly braces. Now again this date, and it is also written in double curly braces, so now it becomes a variable. So this is to confirm that Magnet Brain Software Private Limited received a total amount of this amount. Again it is a variable, so written in double curly braces. From donor name, so donor name is the fourth variable here as per the payment details given below. Now if you will see the date, again payment received date, so this is also in the double curly braces. Then we have amount received and invoice ID. We thank you for the contribution towards the corpus of the Magnet Brain software and help support our work. And then we have the address and email ID. So after creating the template, we just have to go to Pabbly Connect, and here we have to choose the application Google Docs. So here is, where do we have Google Docs? Yeah, here. So we'll click on Google Docs. After connecting the Google Docs account, so our action event would be create document from template. Why? Because we already have an existing template and we have to create a document with it. So let's click on this and click on connect. So now I'm going to click on add new connection, and since Pabbly Connect is asking me to connect it with Google Docs account, so here let me just select the account, and now it is going to ask me for authorization. So let's click on continue, and here we can see that the authorization is now successful. So as we come down, the template document has already been registered here. What is the new document's name? So let's say that I wish to name it like this. So first I want the buyer's name, and then I also need the email ID of the person. So this is how I'm going to name my document, along with the buyer's name and email address. Then new documents location. So ATG certificate is already here. Now comes the certificate number. So for the certificate number, I'm going to go back to Instamojo new sale. First, I'm going to take the buyer's name, and along with this, I'm going to include the payment ID. So this is going to be my certificate number. Actually, you can design this as per your wish. Now the date. For this date, we are going to go to this date time formatter by Pabbly and click on result. As we come down here, we have to map the amount received. So again, I'm going to click here, go to Instamojo new sale, and this is the payment amount. Now let's come down and is the donor's name. So let's quickly map the data, and this is the donor's name. Now payment received date is going to be the same. So let's click on this. And then the invoice ID. So for this invoice ID, I'm going to map the payment ID. So let's click on this. And here we are done. So now let's click on save and send test request. And as we do that, we can see here we have received the API response. So basically you have received the document ID from this particular step. So now once we are done with this particular step, so what would happen is this particular document would be saved in our Google Drive. So once we go back to our Google Drive, here we can see that this is the document that we have just created. And let's open this. So this is a dummy name and dummy@pabblytutors.com. So the name and the email address is here, and then we have received the information, the date, the amount, the invoice ID, and then again here is the name and the payment ID. As we come here, basically you can see that the default settings are private to only me, but we wish that this document should be shared with everyone so that the same process is not supposed to be repeated. So I'm going to go back to my Pabbly, and here I'm going to choose another action, which is Google Drive. And once I go to Google Drive, what is going to be my action event? Here I wish that this particular file should be shared with anyone. So I'm going to click on share the file with anyone, and let's click on connect in. Once done, again I'm going to add new connection and then connect with Google Drive. This is the step where Pabbly Connect asks you to make this connection. Now I've chosen the account, and let's click on continue to authorize it. And here we can see that the authorization has been successful. So now it is asking me for the file ID. For this, I'm going to map the data, and I'm going to delete this. Go to my Google Docs, and just in the above step, we had received this Google document ID. So I'm going to click on this. And then we are going to save and send test request. So as we click on this, we will be receiving this API response. And yes, this is the API response. Here we have received a lot of links, but the link that we wish to share on our WhatsApp document has to be a PDF link. So here what are we going to do is we are going to check which one is our PDF link. So let's check this one. Okay, so this one is export links application /PDF. So this is our PDF link. So we'll be using this one. Now once we are done with this process, we are going to quickly go back and check our certificate. So here you can see that these sharing options are changed. Now it can be shared with anyone with the link. That is why we had done this process. Now I'm coming back to Pabbly Connect, and now what is the next action? Next action has to be I have to share it on WhatsApp Cloud API. Basically, what do I want? I want a message should be shared on WhatsApp along with the ATG certificate. So here my action event would be send template message. Now let's click on connect. As we do that, I'm going to click on add new connection. So basically Pabbly Connect is asking us to connect it with WhatsApp Cloud API account so that it can have the information. For this connection setup, it needs three things: token, phone number ID, and WhatsApp business account ID. For this, I'm going to go to Meta for Developers page, and here these are the my apps. Basically, I have already created these apps. Now you can also create your own app. How would you create? By clicking on this create app thing. Also, a dedicated video is there in the description box where you would be able to understand how to run this entire WhatsApp API. So here I'm going to click on this My Connect message app, which I've already created. And once I go there, on the left hand side, there is this WhatsApp. So let's click on this drop down, click on getting started. And here we would get all the information that we need. Here is a temporary access token, then the phone number ID and the WhatsApp business account ID. One thing that you have to be really aware of is that this is just a temporary access token. It will expire after 23 hours, which means if you will create your workflow using this particular token, then your workflow will stop working after like a day. So here you will have to generate your permanent access token. And how would you do this? So a dedicated video has been given in the description box regarding how to create this permanent access token. So you can follow the steps from there and create your own permanent access token. Now I'm going to copy this temporary access token, go back to my Pabbly page and paste it here. Go back to Meta Developers, copy the phone number ID and paste it here. Then we have the WhatsApp business account ID and then we have to paste it here. So this is how you have to create your connection with WhatsApp Cloud API account. And as we click on save, so here you can see the template name, language code, selected template ID. So we have to fill in the required details. So first we have to understand what is a template. A template is basically pre-written WhatsApp messages that you can share on WhatsApp or any other social media app. So if I take you back to my developers page and click here, so this page will show you all the templates that I've already created. So, and to create your own message template, you can click here and then you can refer to the video. It will tell you exactly how you have to create a message template. Now the template that I already have created is donation certificate. So now I'm going to choose this. I'm going to go back to Pabbly page here and select my template as donation certificate. And now as I come down, here it is asking me for the mobile number. So once we go down and we go to this Instamojo new sale, here you can see that the mobile number is with plus and the country code. But here you can see that it has been very clearly stated that you have to enter the mobile number with the country code but without the plus sign. For this, we'll go up and we are going to add another action step. This step would be text formatter. This is another feature by Pabbly. And as we go here, we are going to split the text. Why? Because we have to remove the plus sign. Let's click on connect here. And as we come down, so here we are going to go to Instamojo and then this is the mobile number. So what is the separator supposed to be? It is supposed to be plus. Why? Because we need the data after the plus sign. And here I'm going to click on second. So let's click on save and send test request. And here you can see that we have received our mobile number in the exact desired format. Again, I'm going to click on connect and save. Once done, here let's go down and now we are going to map the data from this text formatter by Pabbly. So let's quickly go down and get the mobile number. Now comes the header document URL. So this is the URL that we had received from our Google Drive thing and we want this in the PDF format. So the PDF format link is this one. Let's click on this. Now the header document file name. So I can just quickly ATG certificate. Now comes the body field. So I have to map the name. So let's go down and this is the name. And then we have the payment details. So for the payment details, again, I'm going to Instamojo and the payment amount. And this is also mapped. So we have mapped all the details. Now we are going to click on the save and send test requests and see if we have received a message on WhatsApp. So let's click here and yes, we have received the API response and I can check that I have received a message. Now I am showing the screenshot to you. And yes, we have received the message, hello dummy name, we have received your donation of 9 rupees. We are thankful for your efforts to make things easy for everyone in need. Please check the donation certificate attached above. And now this is the donation certificate. You can check the screenshot here. So here we have the name with the payment ID, the date is there, invoice ID, date, amount and etc. So I'm sure that now you're aware of the process how to create ATG receipts once payment is received through Instamojo Smart Pages. Now I'm going to quickly take you back and show you the entire process. So here the first thing that we had done was first we had chosen the trigger as Instamojo where we had chosen the trigger event as new sale. And then here once done, then the URL that we had received, we went to our Instamojo page and there we had used this URL to create the connect. Once this was done, then we had chosen this date time formatter, which is a feature by Pabbly to format the date. And once we had formatted the date, we had received the date in the desired format. Then we had to create a document from the already existing template. We have already created a template. That's why the application was Google Docs and the action event was create document from template. And here we had given all the required information and then we had received a response where we had received the document ID. Now, the thing was that this file could not be shared with anyone. Why? Because the default setting was with me only, like with only one person, the person who has created it. So then we had chosen another action step, Google Drive, where the file could be shared with everyone. Okay, then we had filled in the required details, and as we came down, then we had chosen another step, which was text formatter. Why? Because we had to format the mobile number as we did not require the plus sign. And finally, we had integrated this entire process with WhatsApp Cloud API so that a message can be shared on WhatsApp. So now I'm going to run this entire process in real time. So we are going to go back to our Instamojo page. And here I am going to quickly go to view page, and once I went here, I'm going to this time select blood donation and do the payment. So let's say that my name is payment demo, and the last name is, let's say, testing. Now the email ID is paymentdemo@pabblytuts.com. Mobile number is okay, done, and let's click on pay. So now it has showed me the QR code. Let me just make the payment. So here you can see that the payment has been successful, which means the moment this payment is successful, I should receive a message on my WhatsApp. So let's now quickly go and check our WhatsApp, and yes, here you can see that we have received the ATG certificate. So we have received the message, hello payment demo testing, we have received your donation of ₹9. We are thankful for your efforts to make things easy for everyone in need, and the message remains the same, and the ATG certificate has been attached with the message, which means that this entire integration process is now finally successful. And I have also explained you the process. In case of any doubts, you can refer to this particular workflow, which is also given in the description box, and you can even clone this workflow and start processing. Do remember that you do not have to run this setup again and again, which means you do not have to integrate all these applications again. This is just a one-time setup, and then this process will be all automated. In case if you have any doubts or you have suggestions, then you can always write to us.